You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Ian Johnson.
The AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AfterBuzz TV for 16 and Pregnant. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's 16 and Pregnant After Show.
Hello, everybody. We are here for 16 and Pregnant, Season 4, Episode 7. Right, Marissa? Okay. This is my first time. We're in Studio B. This is my first time in Studio B. I don't even know what to do with the cables. I got cables going across my body.
There you go.
Annie told me to put it behind me like this.
Perfect.
Like it's my hair, I think.
Whip it.
So, anyway, we are here. And even though the guy said the number, 4247, no, 252. Anyway, that was the wrong number. We got to give the right number because we might have calls from Isabel and Patty K and Amber G. Patty K actually tweeted me some article that I didn't have time to read. And so Patty K, call in, please. What's the right number, Marissa? Is it 1633 at the end?
It's 1633.
So
424-256-1633.
Okay, so that's for Isabel, Patty, and Amber G, and anybody else that would like to call. We'd love to hear from you. Bing is for doing, and we are doing another 16 and Pregnant. But before we get into that, I will introduce Annie.
Hello, everyone. How's it going?
Yep. I don't know if you're looking at that one.
I don't know. I think. Yeah. Hi.
This. You know what? The Studio B is really cool, though.
It's comfy, isn't it?
Yeah, I feel
I'm
like.
digging the furry walls.
Yeah, I don't know quite what to do with my hands, and
You're used to the table. Right?
Yeah, I've got the table. I can hide my ugly paper. I'm the host, but I don't get a water like you.
There's an extra right here.
Oh, you know what? That's not water.
It's
ladies
not.
and
I
gentlemen.
think it's more comfortable
I
in
think
here.
there's something else.
It's
Yeah,
more relaxed.
I actually, when I first saw this studio, because I saw it go from nothing to something and then to what it is now.
Yeah.
And even when it was just something, I thought this studio is cooler than the other one.
Yeah.
But they both are really good.
They both look nice. They're
Okay.
different in their own way.
Yeah, different in their own way. So, but yeah, this is cool. So, Miranda with an Myranda from Texas.
Mm-hmm.
What was your overall take from the thing? How'd you feel about the whole thing? Tell me what you thought overall. What was your feeling?
Well, compared to last week.
Yes.
Overall, I thought it was pretty good. It wasn't too crazy and emotional.
Right.
It seemed
True.
like they were pretty mature and had a handle on things for being so young.
Yeah.
Their circumstances, they made it work. He seemed like a pretty good boyfriend, I think.
Yes. Okay.
And
so
overall, I think they're going to be okay. You can tell she's not happy that she got pregnant. Like she said at the end, she regrets it. But at the same time, she's happy.
Okay. Good.
What do you
this
think?
and these are clips from the show. Well, my
God, her
overall,
mom.
yeah, Billy, the mom, Billy. But my overall thing was this one, even though it didn't have the outward emotion,
Yeah.
it had, and we'll talk about it. It had the most intense, what's the highest tension at the end there.
Right.
Okay, and we'll talk about it because that was really cool.
Yeah.
But in the beginning, I see exactly what you were talking about. There's Eric and Miranda talking to each other.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's the same old intro where she's like, and I love him, he loves me, and I hope we're together forever because now I'm pregnant. Right. But they seemed okay.
Yeah, they did.
They seemed like they're on the same level.
Good communication.
Good communication.
Yeah.
Right. We saw all that, and
The grandma was pretty funny. Like, the first of all, the setup, they live together. Like, they're 16 years old and they're living together. You knew right off the bat that this was a dysfunction.
Yeah, I'm thinking, okay, Eric is been raised by his grandmother.
Right.
We don't know why.
Yep.
You know, I mean, to us that signals broken home, but maybe it was something else. Maybe his parents died in a car accident.
Right.
You know?
They never touched
They
it.
didn't tell us, right? And then, you know, obviously Miranda came from a home that really struggled.
Yeah.
You know, with a mom who was struggling with addiction to drugs and alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
And I forgot what they said about her dad, but he
Yeah, I
hasn't been
remember.
around since before she was 12 or something,
Okay.
something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you know, Miranda is living with her boyfriend at his grandmother's house,
Sleeping in the same room.
sleeping in the same room, and thank God for her name was Nanny.
Nanny.
Not Nana or Noni. It was Nanny was her name. And man, did she say some of the best things and
She was
ask the
funny.
best questions.
She
I'm
was
thinking,
awesome.
yes, she said these like hardcore truth statements and
Yeah.
asked them these real questions. I mean, in the beginning, when
Yeah.
they first sit down to talk to her, she actually says, "You know what? You guys are dumb and stupid."
Yeah. She's
I'm-
an old lady. She doesn't hold back.
Yeah, and I'm going, you know what? Nanny can say that.
Yeah.
I'm not offended because, you know, what they did, it was dumb
Yeah,
and stupid.
it was.
You weren't
And-
thinking, and she said, and you should have had a condom on. I told you to use a condom.
Yeah.
And you should have stopped taking the dumb pills.
Yeah.
And you know what?
I like that she went after both of them.
Yeah.
Not just him because that's her grandson, not just her because
Yeah.
she's pregnant, but both of them.
She went after both of them, and for some reason, even though it was like this sort of, you know, beating him after the fact, I felt like I didn't feel like she was like negative, you know?
Yeah, me
she's
neither.
she's letting him stay there rent free.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, there's nothing wrong. She's telling you how it is.
Yeah, she was just giving them reality, I think, because
Yeah, I even didn't mind as much like I did last week. It really bothered me when the mom said, you know, no
Yeah.
babies in this house. When Grandma said it, it didn't bother me that much.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, what's she gonna do? She
She's
already
too
raised
old.
her grandchild.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's she gonna do it again? She said, no, I'm not doing it again.
Been there
that
twice.
Has been there, done that, no more. And then I'm thinking, okay, and that's when and one thing I saw throughout the show from Miranda was, you know, not a lot of emotion. We did see her cry at one point, but
Right.
the other parts of the show, we kind of saw this stoic face from her.
Yeah, really shut down.
Yeah, really shut down. But when somebody would say something that either was offensive or concerning to her or made her angry or whatever, she just would go to, I saw her go into this like stare, you know, like, and I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know if she was going to start yelling or start crying or
Yeah.
what. And most of the time she didn't do anything.
Nothing, yeah.
But this was one of the times when the grandmother is announcing to them, hey, look, by the way, have you guys thought about where you're going to live? Because you can't stay here.
Yeah.
And she's looking at her like she's shocked and upset and everything, but her face isn't moving, and she's doing this. And she's, you know, telling the camera, man, I really thought we were going to be able to stay there.
Yeah.
You know, that sucks.
There goes that.
He's got half of a job.
He works at the dollar store, by the way.
At the dollar store.
I'm a huge fan of the dollar store, and
Yeah.
I can't talk crap about it, but that's his supportive income.
Yes, he's working at the dollar store. But, I mean, I'm actually not going to, you know, I got a couple of maybe negative comments about Eric, but
I liked him.
Eric, man, wait till you hear what I have to say about him. Okay, so they have that, but before they even talk to the grandma, we see Miranda with her mom.
Yeah.
And what was that first scene where they talked? Where were they? I don't even remember where they were. But she was talking to her mom, and I just because of how she painted the picture, or described her mom. Like every time her mom came into the scene, I'm like nervous.
Right. What's
I'm like,
she gonna do?
yeah, is she gonna like I don't know, start beating people or something?
Yeah, or
you
she
know?
gonna walk in wasted, or
Yeah, and yeah, which you know ties into the high tension scene later, which I was really sweating and fast forward because I watched it on DVR.
Yeah.
And I couldn't wait. But anyway, so she talks with her mom, and like there's this. For me, I'm just wondering. Okay, I'm looking for this mom to like act weird or do something that a druggie does,
Right.
or say something horrible. And every time we see her on camera, she seems pretty sensible.
yeah.
She seems calm.
She seems like she's been through a lot of therapy. She has been through a lot of rehab too.
Yes.
Because she goes back and forth. She seems to talk about that a lot. How I've
Yes.
heard the same thing. She's done this.
Yes,
It hasn't
exactly.
changed.
Exactly. Yeah, and you know, at one point she does apologize for how she's been acting.
Yeah.
But Miranda's seen it before.
Right.
You know?
It is good though that she admits it. I mean, I think that was a big step for her.
Yeah.
She never really got angry when
Yeah.
she, told her stuff. She kind of was just like, well, I understand that.
Okay. You're talking about Miranda's reaction to it.
The mom's reaction.
Okay.
Just
when
like
she
all the
told her.
letdowns or all the things, yeah.
Completely agree.
Yeah.
I was like, that's another stage. Okay, so what we're talking about there is when, and it's okay to jump ahead because we can do whatever we want.
We can do what we want.
But there was a whole thing about who's going to be in the birth room.
Right, because only 2 people.
Yeah, and Miranda decided she didn't want her mom in there.
Mm-hmm.
And we actually don't know really why until she actually tells her mom.
Yeah.
Which I thought was an amazing thing for her to be able to do.
Talk to her,
But yeah, she, her mom decides, or her mom's response is, "I'm sorry."
Yeah.
You know.
Sorry you had to make that decision.
I'm sorry that my life and what choices I've made have put you in a position to have to decide whether to have your own mother in the birth room of her grandchild.
Right.
And yeah, very sober, very healthy thing to say. She took responsibility for it.
Yeah.
I didn't see that coming.
No.
I had no idea what to expect.
I didn't either.
We're hearing these stories about it.
I think she didn't want her in there too because she is unreliable. She disappears. She says she calls her. She hasn't heard back. Like, I'm thinking she probably was worried that her mom wasn't going to show up.
Yes, and she told her that because she said, you know what, you were supposed to be at my 3D ultrasound, and you weren't.
Couldn't get a hold of her.
Right, couldn't get a hold of her. And she said when that happened, she was imagining her having the baby and needing her there in the birth room. And if I put your name down as the one that can come in, that means I'm telling Christian that she can't.
Right.
And I was thinking that Nanny should be in there.
I thought so too.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I thought she would be, but maybe she didn't want to be.
She's like, what am I going to do it again? I've done that like lots of times.
Yeah.
She's over it.
She's over it. She's old.
And you know what? And if I remember right, did we see her when the baby was born? We didn't actually see her. Was she one of the
grandma?
people? Yeah. Did Nanny come in and hold the baby? And
oh, I can't remember either. I can't. I'm thinking she must have been, but I can't remember.
Okay.
To be honest.
I kind of think she wasn't there. But again, I got nothing against her.
No.
She said all the stuff that I wanted to say.
Right.
She said it exactly how I'd want to say it, and she got away with it in a caring fashion.
Yeah.
She said these but so. One of the things that we start to see who Eric is.
Yeah.
Is when he's talking. First of all, they're swimming in some green pool.
I think that's the grandma's pool.
Okay, why is the water green?
Because they don't keep up on it.
But they're in it though. They're swimming
they're
in
not,
the pool.
Did you see what the house they moved into? I don't think they're the most
don't,
hygienic people.
Don't mention the shack yet. Because they did wonders with this shack.
I know the inside. Holy crap.
Oh.
Looked totally different. I was like, who did that?
Yes, it was. Wow. But so I was a little distracted by the green pool water. I didn't know how that was acceptable.
There was like 25 kids in the pool.
Right. So, and so Eric is there and he's talking to his brother, and his brother is like, how did it happen? Or
yeah, how'd you get her pregnant, man? You're like, good question.
He's like, I was just thinking, with
my
something,
penis
right,
instead
and
of my head.
yes, and it just happened. But he says, his brother says, how are you gonna pay for everything? And that's when he says, with my job.
Yeah. $150 a week.
Working at the dollar store, and I got $700 saved up already. But the thing is, even though 700 is better than 150, and
right.
like I think last week, I think she went in saying, okay, I've got $250 saved up. And we're like, you can't even buy one thing with that.
Right. Crib's gonna be more than that.
Right. But when Eric said it, he said it with such conviction.
Confidence, yeah.
Like, you know what? I got a job. I got $700. If I keep saving, then you know what? It's gonna work.
Yeah.
And I kind of believed him.
I did too.
And I'm like, I believe him. Okay, I don't know where you're gonna live.
Right.
Because we didn't know about the shack yet.
Didn't know about the shack that was available.
I don't know where you're gonna live, but so then they're talking afterwards about okay, where we're gonna live, and Eric is just cool. He's like laid back, which is kind of like my only complaint. Like he lays down and goes to sleep, and he plays video games too much on his stuff. But
he is also like 17
I was gonna
years
say,
old.
let's not forget he's 17. And oh my God, if I had to do a whole set of dishes at age 16, which I did, I was exhausted after it.
Right.
I was mentally taxed by having to do my chores. And like, you know what, Mom, I could help you, but I gotta rest because I used to take out the trash.
Yeah.
But so that's how he was, you know. He was like constantly trying to sit down, but here he is in this laid back sort of. They're having a conversation, and I don't remember ever hearing a single negative thing come out of his mouth.
Yeah, neither did
You know,
I.
he always chose to be supportive. He always chose to encourage. He always chose
Bright future, things were
Yeah.
gonna be okay.
And so here we are thinking they're not going to have any place to stay. They
Mm-hmm.
can't. There's no way they can live on their own.
Right.
And he says, "Well, there is this."
By the way.
There is this shack that it's actually a house, but it looks like a shack.
Behind someone else's house, right?
Right behind Nanny's house, and she said we could stay there. And then Miranda, good question. How much is the rent? He said, well, she said we don't have to pay rent. We just got to pay for the electricity. And
Which
I'm
is
thinking,
like what, $10 a month they're gonna pay?
yeah. Well, I don't know, but at this point, I'm thinking, okay, describing it as a shack has me worried.
As it should.
Right, as it should. But it's free, so let's go check it out.
Right.
Let's go see what
You
we
don't have a lot of options at this point. You're not staying with her mom. So.
Yeah, exactly. Mom, yeah. I don't think Miranda would stay with her mom, even if her mom said, come here, stay free,
No,
I'll pay
she
for
wouldn't.
everything.
Yeah.
Miranda's not going to do it. So, and at the same time, Miranda's saying, okay, well, you know what? We're going to go check out the shack because that's all we've got.
Yeah.
Because he's only making her $50 a week, and I got to get started on my GED because the baby's almost here.
Yeah.
And, oh, my God, the shack.
It was
From a distance, do
disgusting.
you remember seeing it from a distance? It looked
It was
like
gonna
a
collapse,
shack.
yeah.
It looked like it was made of playing cards
It was awful.
that were like, rotting.
Yeah.
And so they open the door, creak, and then it's like a mattress.
effects.
There's mattress storage going on. There,
With stains on the
yeah,
mattress.
it's a home for dead bees.
Oh, God, the window seal?
Did you see that?
That was so
Now,
gross.
and I wasn't so grossed out about the dead bees. I was more concerned about, okay, if they were there before and they're dead, what about all the brothers and sisters? Where are they?
Right.
I don't think they just left.
Who moved out and left all that stuff?
Yeah, I'm thinking there's more bees.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And it looked like there was other things like animal droppings and mold and dirt and everything.
Just like crap left behind. The carpet's half pulled up. The
Right.
walls punched in. Like, it just looked like a halfway house.
It did. It was a shack at that point. It's a shack. And then here comes good old Nanny walking in the door and saying, oh,
Ooh,
my
what
God,
gonna
y'all
do?"
got a lot of work to do in here. You better get started. There's not a lot of time to do it. Good luck.
She's telling them, like, every little thing. You got to do this. She's like, ooh, the bathroom.
Yeah, this ain't going to be ready for a baby unless you got a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
You got to grow up fast, she said. I was just thinking, this woman is saying all of the good stuff, man.
Yeah.
I'm going.
So
I mean,
entertaining.
yeah, it's. And, Ronnie Jr. Media is always, giving us a hard time about the show and how he can't really stick with it. But this was one where I kind of wish, I don't know, I guess it takes a fan of 16 and Pregnant to appreciate the grandmother because we don't see,
Yeah.
somebody coming in with, okay, in one hand she's helping them, in the other hand she's, beating them with
Yeah.
a ruler.
Right.
And, and just giving them all the medicine they need and telling them the real truth, but also saying, but I'm going to help you too.
Yeah.
A lot of times we get, just one extreme of the other.
Yeah.
And most of the time it's the negative one.
Yeah.
So I was just, I was like, here she comes with the good stuff. And then, just when you thought they were alone, here come family and friends helping clean up the place,
Yep.
help
Give
throwing
them
in money
furniture. Yeah.
for
Give them money.
yes, for appliances,
Yep.
which they had to have. There was no fridge.
The stove. Yeah. The fridge.
So I thought that was awesome. And then
Yeah.
what was the? Oh, was it she tried to call her mom. She said family and friends helped out, and I called my mom so she'd come help too, and she couldn't reach her. This
She
was like
couldn't reach her. Yeah.
yeah, this is like the first time where she couldn't reach her mom.
Right. I think she said you couldn't reach her for like a few days, a week, something like that.
Yeah, that's
and
what it was.
that's because she was on a binge.
That's right. That was right. She called her mom. She was like, I don't know what's going on with my mom. I don't know. It makes me think something's wrong. And, and then she was trying to call her mom to take them baby shopping. That was what it was.
Right. That's right.
Uh,
But they end up going with Nanny.
here, Nanny to the rescue. She just comes in. I'll take you.
Yeah.
And she comes in, and while she's there, she's telling Eric, get off your butt, boy. You got to help pick this stuff, too.
Yeah.
This is your stuff. Get up.
Yeah.
I mean, she is just like Like, I didn't see her sit down and rest.
No.
I didn't see her. No, I didn't see her. Anybody give her anything.
Right.
You know, I saw the kids act like 17-year-olds and like be annoyed when she was nagging them and you know, saying, "Oh, come on, nanny," and all this stuff. Like now at my age, I can appreciate nanny.
Yeah.
I would if I had a nanny.
If everyone had her.
If I had nanny in my house right now, telling me what to do, I would be like, "Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
What's up?
Yeah, no problem, man." I mean, I would be like, "Whatever you need, I got it." You know, because
I think that's why Eric was such a good kid, because he was raised by her.
Right? He was raised by her, so he just began to blow me away. But anyway, they go shopping and
everything's crazy expensive.
$675
for
for a
stroller.
What the heck in
That's not how much they
in
really
St.
cost.
Augustine, Texas?
What? They went to the wrong store. They need to go to like Sears or like
are
some
those
department
imported?
store.
I mean, how about, you know, find somebody that's had a baby that grew out of it? Are you using that?
Wait, or they could get it off of Amazon.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. They get off of Amazon.
You could buy all that stuff.
But before they go to Amazon, they should go to AfterBuzz TV. So this is our we appreciate everything. As you may or may not know, TV viewers and internet viewers, as you may or may not know, we all work for free. This is all volunteer. We enjoy ourselves. We are fans of our show. We are fans of Maria and Kevin, who are the executive producers of this whole thing. And so we're happy to do it. But one of the ways that has been set up for us to get really free for you guys support for AfterBuzz is a link on our webpage. If you go to www.afterbuzztv.com, then you will see right on that main page a banner in the sort of upper right side that says something about Amazon on there. Anyway, if you're going to go buy stuff from Amazon anyway, which I do, Amazon is one of my favorite places to buy things online, just quickly go to AfterBuzzTV.com first, click on that Amazon banner, and it will take you to Amazon. But because you did that first, there will be some of the proceeds of your purchase, or part of it will actually come to AfterBuzz, but it doesn't make your purchase more expensive or cost you anything. It's just we get credit from Amazon and money for having you guys go through us to do it. So if you could do that, we would appreciate it.
It's a win-win situation.
Thank you. It is a win-win situation, which at this point, you know, everything was win-win, because for Miranda, she still got the baby inside of her. Before, you know, baby's due in a couple weeks, and she decides, I'm going to go out with my friends because I need to.
Yeah.
You know, that, like, at least she could at this point.
Yeah.
But they go to the batting cages.
Like, what is she trying to...
Well, remember, she is a softball player, right? And her, you know, the baby Eric is a baseball player, and he wants to go pro, which I hope he does.
Oh,
I wish, Eric, I hope
somebody
you, like, make $1 million. Yes, go do it. But they go to the batting cages, and all it does is scare her friends.
Yeah. Well,
Like,
it scared me. She should be. She's like 8 months pregnant, about to get hit in the stomach.
Exactly.
Well, no, like the people working should have been like, "Oh, you can't go in the batting cage because you're obviously."
Yeah. Well, that's the thing in St. Augustine, you can't get a stroller for less than $600, but you can go take your pregnant butt and get hit with a ball for free. I don't know.
The batting cages.
I don't get it.
There's no limit.
Yeah. So anyway, so they do that, and then that's when she comes home, when she gets the news about her mom.
Right. They picked her up.
Yes.
She's back in rehab.
Back in rehab. You know, just the last thing that she needs to hear about her mom.
Yeah.
Just, you know, to me, like I said.
But it's probably she's so used to it. I think it doesn't faze her. I think the blank stare you talk about, she doesn't have any. She's sick of trying to care or has emotion because.
Yes.
It was just the same thing over and over.
Exactly. That's exactly. The stare was right there when she's telling Eric, and they're sitting wherever they were eating or whatever, and they were talking. And here's Eric doing his good supportive stuff and said, well, you know, I'm sorry. You know, God, do you think that, you know, she's going to give whatever he said, it was good.
Right.
You know, I don't remember word for word, but it was remember
good.
Yeah, I remember thinking, man, he's saying all the right stuff. But yeah, she had the blank stare there, and I felt like, you know, we couldn't really tell how much that shook her up because she just doesn't show us.
Yeah.
But it's because it's old hat to her.
Yeah.
You know, it's just.
It's probably like, what's the point of even.
I think if I were to guess, I would say what's happening here is you know, she's 17 and pregnant at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And she talked about how, you know, her mom really, I think, fell off the deep end when she was 12. Her age of 12 was significant. And so now we've got 5 years of her basically not really having a mom.
Yeah.
Right?
I think she said when she was 12, she tried to talk sense into her.
Yes.
As a 12-year-old.
Right.
And now she's 17, and it's 5 years
Yeah,
of
come
the
on.
same thing.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. And so to me, the idea is she did get sort of, you know, fed up with it.
Mm-hmm.
But now she has something that's happening in her life that is completely unknown to her.
Yeah.
She, you know, and so my guess is that the fact that she's got a baby, and she even says that she's scared.
Mm-hmm.
And this is when a mom would, you know, a good mom, a good supportive mom
Step
that you
in.
could count on would be real handy right now.
Yeah.
And we've seen that in other episodes.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that what her pregnancy may have done is it may have created a little spark of hope, like for her to think, man, maybe this will be the thing to make my mom snap out of it.
Yeah.
Maybe she'll step up. And so that's
Be a good grandma
yeah,
and
yeah.
wanna do it for her grandchild, if not for me, or whatever.
Exactly. And that was the thing that I thought, you know, made her sort of change a little bit and start talking to her mom in a different way
Yeah.
than maybe she had, you know?
Yeah.
Because before there was no reason for even to ask her mom for anything or talk to her about anything.
Right.
Because why? You know,
Mhm.
what for? I obviously have to take care of myself
Yeah.
and support myself.
That's how
and
she's
do
been
everything.
doing it. Yeah.
But now this big thing. So, the mom was drinking, got in an argument with the husband,
Mm-hmm. Took his car.
took the car, which I'm assuming she was drunk when she did that, drove off, and then I guess she probably went to one of her old providers of drugs and then started to.
Which we never knew the drug, did we?
No, don't
What
know
do
the
you think
drug.
it would have been?
You know what? I don't know what's going on in St. Augustine, Texas. Actually,
What's the drug of choice in that town? We need to know.
yeah. Well, I don't know, but I mean, if it was up to me, I
It didn't sound like it was a terrible drug. Like, 'cause she did seem kind of like okay. Like,
Yeah.
you know, if it was something hardcore, she probably would be like a hot mess.
Well, I think there's probably some sort of baby stroller racket going on.
Maybe
some
it's-
baby strollers are involved in the drug game somehow. $675. Only the drug dealer can.
Maybe it's
no,
a pill
that's absurd.
thing.
Yeah,
'Cause I mean,
I
no
don't know.
guesses.
I mean, okay, my guess would be methamphetamine.
Really? That's
Yeah.
your guess?
That's my guess.
Don't people like disappear and go homeless and everything, lose their whole life when they do meth?
They can, but you know, and I'm speaking my vast meth experience by watching Breaking Bad, which if you don't know, is the greatest show of all time.
It is the greatest show of all time.
But no, not, you know, and there's a lot of skinny people that are wasting away from meth and all that too.
She's a bigger gal.
Right, but there's all kinds of different people, and there's people that go in and out. But
Okay, so that could be it because she's been struggling with it for a long time. It sounds like.
Yeah, and part of the reason I say meth is because I just don't like what other drug? I mean, I guess it could be crack cocaine. That's cheap, you know.
Could be that.
It could be.
She
crack.
did have a brand new car.
Yeah, did you see that too? I
Her
saw
brand
that.
new white Ford.
And I'm thinking, maybe the husband. I mean,
Yeah,
you know,
maybe
we
the
don't-
husband.
we don't
Maybe
know.
it's leased. Yeah,
Is
we
she-
don't know because
is
how
she-
could she hold a job?
Is she holding a job? Right.
I'm thinking no. If she's in rehab, in and out, like I don't think
Yeah, she's like
she's not stable.
rehab is her job.
Yeah.
Right? That's where she's spending 40 hours
She's
a week.
trying to fix her life.
Yeah. I mean, who's writing the paycheck? Oh, you can't come in for the next 3 months? No problem.
Call us when you get out.
Calling in sick for 3 months. Where do you want me to send the check? I will keep sending the check.
Yeah.
I don't know what job that is. But yeah, we don't know how she gets her money.
She is an only child, Miranda, right? They never.
Well, yeah, I mean, we assume, right?
Yeah, we don't never hear about anybody
We
else.
assume. I mean, remember what was it last week?
Yeah.
That we thought it was an only child, and in fact there were
10.
12 brothers and sisters. Yeah, not 10, but 12.
Coming out of all of the doors.
Yeah, lined up on the stairway waiting for the guy. Anyway.
That was a crazy episode. This
That
week
was funny.
pretty mild. You did have your little, side story with the mom.
Yes.
But that was about it. Everything else kind of worked itself out.
Yeah, but the mom was like an Alfred Hitchcock type thing where we knew there was something there, we just never saw it.
Yeah.
You know, we knew like the mom, like she must have did something because
Right.
her daughter is like, can't let you touch the baby.
Yeah. I don't trust you watching the baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's sad.
So anyway, so she gets the bad news about her mom, and then she, what happened? Because the baby showers, did they work on the house some more?
Yeah, the house was just ready just in time, I think, right before.
Okay.
Didn't you feel like they started too late, and that should have been something they discussed earlier? She went in there to look at it. She looked pretty far along.
Yeah.
And then, like, we got to fix this up. I'm like, that's going to take you a year to fix.
Yeah.
But then they did it.
I was really worried about that whole thing.
The conditions, yeah, for a newborn.
When I saw the house. But when we see the house next, it looks good.
It looks like a really nice apartment.
Yes. It looks very good.
The bedroom was nice. They had, like a bed frame and everything, and nice new comforter and sheets, and everything looked brand new.
Yeah, it looked really good. So I mean, they came into a bunch of stuff. It sounds like family and friends just
really
they stepped up,
yeah.
came in, maybe even the community. But did they have the baby shower at Nanny's house or her aunt? I don't even remember. But they had the baby shower.
I think they had it at her aunt's house.
Not at the shack, right? It wasn't at the shack.
No, it wasn't at the shack. I don't think it was at her grandma's house. I think it was at her aunt's house.
Okay,
or was that Eric's aunt?
Maybe. Oh, the aunt. No,
Remember?
Aunt Jenny.
Jenny?
Aunt Jenny, I believe, is Miranda's aunt.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure that's Miranda's aunt. Okay, but surprisingly enough, I was surprised that her mom was at the baby shower.
Yeah, like no big deal.
Yeah, and this
and she invited her, and Miranda was a little upset and felt uncomfortable. She said.
Yes.
Her mom was there.
Yes, and we don't know how long it was from the binge to the baby shower.
Yeah.
But it's, for us, it was like 2 seconds. Like you were just in a binge. Now you're there.
Now
you have a
she's
dress
fine.
and necklace and all
got
this
her
stuff.
life back together.
Her life back together. And they sit down and they talk, and that's when the mom apologizes and says what to us sounds good, but it's this is the first time we're hearing it.
Yeah.
And Miranda's just got this like this concerned thing. And then her mom says this totally loaded question. So you're gonna let me in the delivery room, right?
Yeah. You're gonna have your mom in there, right?
Yeah, you're gonna have her mom in there, right? And Miranda's like, I guess. And she obviously had already been thinking about it since she had a no-show at the ultrasound.
Yeah.
She had already been thinking that it's not gonna be you, but she didn't know how to tell her.
Yeah.
So after that, more time passes, and Eric's going to college now.
Yep.
Okay.
He's going to community college.
And he's going to his job after goes to school.
Yeah.
And so Miranda's in the shack alone a lot.
Yep.
Okay, pregnant, right? Really feeling a little bit, feeling lonely and all that. She's sick, she's nauseous, and oh my God, what must it have been like all day to be alone with her thoughts?
I know, right?
Sitting in the shack. With
17 years old.
17, pregnant, sick, nauseous, lonely, no money. Whoa.
And a drug-abused mom.
Yeah, not knowing.
A dad who's a no-show or whatever happened to him.
Yeah, we don't even know.
But she seemed to have a good touch of reality, I think.
Yeah.
A good sense of reality and kind of know, like how she said she wasn't going to let her mom watch her. She knew that she was going to give her...
there's the shack.
She was going to give her daughter, or
yes.
it was a daughter, a good life. And she was going to do all the things her mom didn't do.
Yes.
That was like a good perspective.
Where she reflected and kind of came to the conclusion.
Yeah.
So next thing is, they start bringing all these wonderful gifts they got into the shack, which is no longer a shack. It is now from...
It is from the outside.
On the outside is still a shack. It looks like there's let's look, barn animals live in there.
Yeah.
From the outside. But you walk inside...
Storage.
From shack to mansion now. They got pastel walls. They got Barca loungers and wood floors.
Wood flooring?
Yeah.
Who paid for that?
I don't know.
Do you think the grandma?
No. I don't think the grandma gave a single dime for any of that.
Yeah.
And you know what? I got no problem with that.
Right. She shouldn't. She paid for her grandchild's life.
Look, anyway, it's her shack, so I guess she even benefited because now it's fixed up.
Right.
But she's not charging them rent.
Yeah.
They
got it good.
Yeah, it's like it's really, really good. But and I thought it was funny that's another thing. Eric, even though he's got, plays video games too much and maybe he's a little lazy, but he's a kid. He says, the funny thing about moving his Xbox, I forgot my Xbox. That's the most important thing. He says, I'll just put it right here in the baby carrier. And I thought that was funny and cool of him to do.
Yeah.
So then, and they're actually at that scene now, that's when she decides, I'm going to have to tell my mom. I've only got what did she say, like a week left before the baby's due.
Yeah.
And so I got to call my mom and have her come over
Yeah.
and tell her the deal. And this one, when Eric and her talked right before her mom came, this one, and there's another instance of this at the end, but, or maybe this is the one I'm talking about. It kind of made me feel like, okay, Miranda, this is a result of Miranda not being, very open emotionally. He didn't even know that Miranda didn't tell her mom already. Remember, she was like, does your mom know that she's not going to be in that she's coming over here for you to, and to me, that's something that her and Eric would have talked about.
Yeah.
That, hey, this is why I'm having my mom come over so I can tell her this, and and she doesn't know and stuff. So, but the thing is, I think in some of these cases, the kids that are having these babies, especially, I forget, I think maybe it was Katie of this month, if I'm getting her name right, where she was like, she wanted to talk about too much. She wanted to talk about everything, and if her baby daddy didn't say it all the right way, she was upset at him and stuff.
Yeah.
And in this case, I just felt like the communication was good, even when there was an indication that there wasn't communication. Like, Eric didn't know, but guess what? No problem. He still was like...
He's like, I'll let you guys talk, and...
It was still all positive. He wasn't,
Yeah, he wasn't giving her a hard time.
I don't know. It was just like, Nanny did a good job, man. She raised him. He's healthy.
A great job.
He's mentally healthy, and
he's going to school. He's got a job. He wants to support his daughter.
I mean, how many times have we seen these baby daddies just break down under the pressure of this thing?
They do.
And I just didn't see that even.
And their ugly side would usually come out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And they just, and I just did not see that at all. But anyway, she tells her mom, and that's when we were finally sort of impressed with the mom.
Yeah.
When they were at the baby shower, she was like asking her a loaded question, like, "You're gonna let me in?" I was still like, "Okay, the mom is conniving.
Yeah.
The mom, you can't trust her."
Yeah.
But in this one, I was relieved that the mom didn't like, what do you call it when they take what's their responsibility? They didn't transfer it, or I don't know what the word transference. There's a word for that.
I don't know the word.
See, if Amber G would calling in. She's a marriage and family therapist in Canada that calls into our show.
Oh,
frequently.
Cool.
Amber G could tell me what happened there, but
right.
But it didn't happen, so that was good. And that's when her mom apologized, right?
Yeah. I thought her mom was going to handle it differently too, because up until this point in her life, she's been selfish, only thinking about herself.
Yes.
I mean, she's letting her daughter live with her boyfriend's grandma. She doesn't care about her daughter, obviously.
Yep.
So the fact that she handled it so well was shocking. But like I said, I think it's a lot of therapy and rehab.
What do you? Okay, that's a good point you made. That it's obvious that she doesn't care. But what about the fact that? How can I say it? She seems to say the right stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I think her intentions are good, but then the drug addiction is a stronger voice.
Maybe it's just almost like there's two people in there, and when she's sober.
When she's sober, she's got her head on her shoulders, but I don't know.
Yeah, well, like I said, you know what? I mean, I believed the mom. The mom was very convincing to me, but I didn't. We don't have the experience that Miranda had.
Right.
Where she's just
the
like
constant letdowns and.
She's like, dude, I've heard it all before.
Right.
So.
She handles it well.
Handles it well.
The news.
We see Miranda for the first time really break down and show emotion. She cries and covers her face. So
doesn't
camera,
show.
Yes. So she goes away and then says it was harder than she thought it would be.
Right.
And from my perspective, I thought, wow, that went really good.
Yeah, me too.
Of course, it's a sad thing. You don't want to tell your mom no because it's your mom, and your mom didn't want you to tell her no because she wanted to be in there. And like, how did I screw up my life so bad that my daughter doesn't even want me in the birthing room of my granddaughter?
Yeah.
So it was like a sad thing, but I thought, but hey, we're good. It went well. And she was like, it was really hard. I just think she never got to like mature in her, how to relate to her mom. Who knows what happened in the past?
Yeah.
Maybe anytime she would say, "Mom, I don't think that's the right thing," maybe her mom would blow up at her.
Yeah.
Maybe she was scared of what her mom was going to do.
Right, because I'm sure she saw the other side of her when she was abusing and would see that person come out, and maybe that's why she just didn't want to be around her.
Maybe. This is definitely that's one of the unknowns.
Yeah.
So then what is it, the next day or two?
2 days later, she has the kid.
2 days later, here comes the baby. And then Man, I wrote down, this is when I changed Eric's name from Eric to the Great Eric. Because this dude is in there. He's holding her hand.
Oh, so cute.
He's holding the throw up pail.
Yeah.
Okay. He's asking her, "Are you okay? Does it hurt? I'm sorry."
Yeah.
I mean,
so great.
And then her friend even is so impressed with him and says, "Dude, are you even nervous at all?
Yeah.
Because you don't look it."
Uh-huh.
And you could see his face. He had kind of a grin, and the dude was just solid.
Yeah, he was.
I'm going, what 17, 18-year-old kid has the Nanny did a good job. Nanny.
If you're out there.
Yeah, 424. What is it?
1366, I think.
25 something.
424-256-1633.
1633. Thank you very much.
1633.
I have the other one memorized because it's been beaten into my brain every time.
I wish we knew her real name.
Nanny's real
I
name?
bet it's like Ruth or Beatrice or like
Eleanor.
Olga or Betty, something cute and old.
Oh, Olga. That would be cute and old for sure. So where were we?
So the baby, she's delivering the baby.
She goes in labor, and this I noticed. I think this may have been the first time that the camera stayed live when she was pushing this season, maybe, because the last few times I remember specifically they went to the little drawing instead.
Oh, the previous seasons they've showed.
Yeah, previous season. But this season
they haven't.
They for some reason I saw a pattern there. And I'm like, okay, I guess they changed.
Yeah.
But maybe it's just something that's up to the.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I noticed they stayed in there while she was pushing, and let's see what else was there cool at I mean. Baby came out, and I don't know. It was
they
just
kissed.
Yeah, it was a touching,
cute little moment. Yeah.
Yeah, the Great Eric, right there, man.
He's cute too, isn't he?
I don't know about that. I don't,
I thought he was cute in his own like Texas hillbilly way.
Well, you know what? That may be the true, but I'm a recent recovery from my homophobia of my whole life. But I'm good now. But not gonna comment on whether the kid's good looking or not. The guy.
But he's cute. We'll just stick with that.
You are free to, no problem.
Okay.
So the baby comes home.
Kaylee, I think her name is.
Yes, Kaylee. Yes, Kaylee. I forgot how big she was.
I think only like 6 pounds.
Yeah.
Not like Jessica Simpson's 9-pound, almost 10-pound baby.
Was it 9 pounds?
It was 9 pounds 12 ounces. Her baby.
Yeah. That's
and she looked like she should have had it like within the first trimester. She was so big.
I remember. Yeah, everybody was talking about that. So this baby is smaller than that. They bring the baby home to lots of love and family and friends, but no Billy. Billy being Miranda's mom.
Yeah.
And I didn't get that. I'm like,
I think it's that pattern. That's what she does.
I honestly, I was really, that point, I was really disappointed. And even though I'm not seeing any, we're not seeing any really outward sort of big problems from this mom, we're seeing, Miranda's reaction as she's been witness to all of it. And then to see her not be there when the baby comes home. I don't know. Maybe she was hurt. She couldn't be in the room. And I don't know.
Yeah, maybe she was, and then she went and drank or did something stupid.
Could be. It could be though too. I know that if you're in therapy for stuff like that, they will advise you to intentionally avoid situations where you're weak, and maybe being there with all these other people that she feels like they're all more included.
Yeah.
And everybody knows I'm her druggy mom.
Right. Everyone knows the story.
Yeah. Maybe it would have been too difficult for her, and that would have been something that would have driven her to drink. Maybe she was just staying away because
wait a few days.
Yeah, because I need to not be there because it'll just make me panic and do all stuff. But they
then everybody's gone, and then she's alone again.
She's alone, getting 3 hours of sleep per night, she said. Okay. And the baby, different from all the other babies, her little sounds that she's making when she's like 2:30 in the morning and she's crying, it wasn't even really a cry.
No, it wasn't.
It
wasn't bad.
It was like a little
just like fussy, yeah.
It was like it didn't bother me at all.
No,
I'm
you
like,
never heard the baby
wow.
like wailing or
no wailing.
Yeah. And it was a cute baby, I think.
The baby was very pretty, very cute. Just a little dainty little girl, and she just had little sound. She was pretty quiet.
Yeah. This is actually the scene here when she first is holding the baby, I think.
Oh.
Or first meets the baby, maybe.
Yeah, that.
Is it?
No.
No, that must have been before.
No,
this
that's
is
the
when
same.
they go out to dinner.
Right, but that's all in the same day, I think.
Oh, okay, yeah, then this is
before
the
mom
time.
was sitting on the other side of her. But the baby's home. They have these nights, and she's like going stir crazy in the house, and she's like lonely and needing to get out. She even goes her friend comes over and she just goes outside to talk like, I need to get out.
Yeah.
I want to go out, do something, get out of here. I need to get out. But then her mom comes over. And that's when the mom's like, let me hold the baby. She's like, no, I'm holding her.
That was kind of messed up, I thought.
Yeah,
she didn't even want her to hold.
It's pretty
the
extreme.
Baby. Yeah.
But Miranda is scared to have her mom involved in this baby's life.
Yeah.
So she holds
for good
her,
reason.
For good reason. I totally believe Miranda. But she's sitting there and she is just like intensely staring at her mom when she's holding the baby, making sure she does it right.
Right.
And then here comes what I think is the great Eric thing to do. And he says, hey, you want to go out and eat?
Yeah.
I mean, he invites her out on a date.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking,
he knows that's what she wants to do and is a little hesitant about asking the mom.
Yes. And I was like, dude, great Eric, that's awesome. But hell no. No. Get Nanny out there, do something else, but don't leave the baby with her.
Yeah.
Because, oh my God.
I know.
Because if you can't see her, you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So he says to Miranda, you want to go out? And then, I was surprised. Miranda says
yeah.
All right.
That's how badly she wanted to go.
Right. I think so. I think, and I think there's all kinds of things. I think she wants her mom to succeed and to be a good grandma. I think she wants that, but she's scared.
Yeah.
She's so scared, and she's sitting there telling her all the stuff, like the baby stuff. And I'm thinking, okay, for the first time, you're going to tell the baby, you don't just sit on the bed and point to where all the stuff is.
Right.
And she's like, how much water, how many this, how many that? No. You take her around, you say, look, this is this, and this is this. That's what I would have done, right? I would have gone, like, over the top. But I don't know. I don't know what to describe. I was sitting there watching it, and I was that's when it started, like, the intensity started for me.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, no, don't do it. Don't leave.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Right.
And I'm like, no, that's not good enough. You got to show her where the stuff is. You got to point everything out. You got to bring it. You got to do it for.
Yeah.
And so the mom is like asking a question. It's like, it's fine. Go ahead. I'll be fine. So they go to dinner.
Where'd they go to dinner? That was like a weird.
It looked like somebody's house, didn't it?
I thought they were like at a hotel. Like.
It did. It looked.
I'm not sure.
Maybe a bed and breakfast or something.
I'm not sure what's going on in Texas.
Not sure what's going on in Texas, but they were at a place where nobody else was.
Nobody else was there.
Nobody else. There was them and the server and the cameraman.
Yeah.
And
she tries to call her mom.
Poor Miranda. I just knew she was not going to have a good time.
Yeah, worried.
I'm like, you know what? You're going to get out, but you are not going to enjoy yourself for a second. I fully expected her to go there and say, you know what? I can't do this. I got to go back.
Yeah.
But, she's there. But then she decides to call, and I'm thinking, yeah, calling's a good idea.
Like just a check-in, or
unless she doesn't answer.
Which of course she doesn't.
And I'm going, no way.
Now, what did you think at that point when she didn't answer? Did you think she took off, or?
I was thinking the worst. Annie.
You were thinking the worst.
What were you thinking?
I was thinking that she was there and her phone was on silent, or something.
You know what? Good for you.
I did, because I was thinking, she can't mess this up on the first day.
Listen, I thought the worst. I thought the baby and her were off
at the bar,
going to get another hit, or even worse than that she left the baby, put the baby down and left.
Yeah.
Who knows? She could have had a fit or a panic or a, remember in Breaking Bad, a fugue state. could have happened, but I was thinking the worst, and then they take me to commercial, and I'm like, oh hell no! I'm fast forwarding on the DVR. I'm like, thank God I'm not watching this live.
Yeah.
I was seriously worried.
What could have happened?
Yeah, I was worried, and so we got there, and then they're at the door, and the mom's sitting on the couch
sorry, I couldn't get up.
How you doing?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Baby's sleep, right?
Yeah.
You sitting there.
Yeah.
And then you're going to tell your daughter, oh, I heard the phone ring twice.
But I couldn't
and I
get
figured it was you and I couldn't get it. I'm like, that's okay, actually. That's actually one of the things I thought. But
what about call her after she puts the
you
baby
didn't
down?
Call her back.
Yeah.
When you put the baby to sleep.
Right. Why didn't she call her just to be like, everything's cool?
Suspect.
Something.
All suspect.
Yeah.
Yo, you just lost me. You just lost me. I am not going to let you watch my child anymore.
Right. And I thought she handled it well, too, when she walked into the house. I think a normal teenage girl would be like, what are you doing? Why didn't you answer your phone? You had me worried sick. She didn't say anything.
I was totally thinking that.
She
exactly.
just walked in like totally normal.
I'm looking at Miranda, and she's talking to her mom. Hi. Blah, blah,
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, okay, now you say, I called you. How come you didn't answer?
Yeah.
Why didn't you answer? Go say it. You
Yeah.
know, that's what I was doing with
That's
Miranda the whole
waiting.
time. I'm thinking, okay, say this now.
Yeah.
Say this now. And the whole time she was just sitting there with her blank stare, like
Yeah.
but the product of her experience.
Mother. Yeah.
Anyway, that was the tension. That was the climax of the whole show for me, and then the denouement followed, which was less intense. But that is also the climax of the show, because now we are about to go to commercial, and we are ready to go now.
AfterBuzz TV.
Hi, I was once like you, a lazy, angry loner whose only joy was watching TV and surfing the net. And, like you, after I'd see one of my favorite TV shows, I'd be so excited and have so many questions that I'd actually have to talk to my douchebag coworkers about it at the water cooler. Then I discovered AfterBuzzTV.com. AfterBuzz TV produces after-show webcasts and podcasts for TV series of all kinds, like post-game wrap-up shows for all your favorite TV shows. AfterBuzz TV hosts are industry insiders who break down episodes of shows, take calls from fans, and interview cast and crew from each series, with over 60 different after-shows, from Boardwalk Empire to American Idol to Vampire Diaries to Real Housewives, and more. Now, after a night of TV, I can ignore my stupid coworkers, who I hate, and go straight to my desk and watch or listen to all my favorite AfterBuzz TV after shows, and have all the TV fan interaction I need. Thank you, AfterBuzz TV.
AfterBuzz TV. What do you want to buzz about?
Okay, we can go right into news and gossip.
AfterBuzz TV News.
So this news / gossip comes by way of post office, word of mouth. A friend of mine told me what he saw on TMZ. I have to say it because in case I get the facts wrong. But
TMZ's accurate.
TMZ is accurate, but maybe it's not after somebody tells it.
Yeah.
But apparently Janelle, our friend Janelle, who has been in all kinds of different trouble, has decided to enhance her life a little bit today. And I don't even know how, I guess somebody in this, operating room tweets out, hey, Janelle's in here. Anyway, Janelle apparently went under the knife today to get a breast enlargement or to get fake boobs. And so, Janelle, hope you're doing okay.
And she's not the first to do that, because
Farrah did that.
Yep.
And I am a fan of Farrah. She can do whatever she wants.
Oh, my God, that girl's a nightmare. Anyways.
Is she a nightmare?
Yes.
Well, I don't know about that, but let's see. So, and then the other big thing that I thought was interesting was our Amber. Mm-hmm. She apparently had, for the past year, been claiming low income so that she can get a discount on her rent. Mm-hmm. And instead, when the landlord found out what she made, is now trying to get her to pay what she would have paid.
Owed, yeah.
And apparently her income was $285,000 last year alone.
Wow.
And obviously he found that out, I guess, because she had to file taxes because we just passed that deadline.
Yeah.
So that would be my news, from a third party.
That's some juicy news.
That's pretty interesting, juicy news. You don't have any news, right?
No.
No. And Patty K didn't call in. I did not read the article, Patty K, but there was an article that she wanted me to read, and I didn't get it, but I was hoping she'd call in. So maybe next time. And then now we can go into our predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
So what I'll say is I'm going to ask us what is your prediction for the future for what like Miranda and her mom. I kind of feel like we know what Eric's going to do. He's going to do the right thing.
Yeah, I think they're going to be good.
Nanny's going to do the right thing.
Yeah.
Right? What do you think for based on what we saw for her mom and Miranda?
I think her mom is going to continue to do the same thing. It's a pattern. It's a cycle. She's going to try, but she's going to... I mean, if she couldn't even be there for her own daughter, how is she going to be there for her grandchild? I think she's going to continue down that path.
You know what? I mean, and I hate that that's what I think too.
Right.
But I
It's sad, but
it is sad.
I feel like it's a reality.
Yeah, that's what I think too. I think unfortunately her mom is just gonna be in the same rut.
Yeah.
Who knows what'll bring her out of it, if anything.
Yep.
But with that, thank you very much, Annie.
Thank you.
Joining us.
Great show.
And that is it for 16 and Pregnant. Miranda. See you guys next week.
Bye.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.